Hello. Hello. Good to see you all. I have something to share real quick. I found this when I was waiting. I was happy Saturday. Check this out. Okay, hopefully it pulls up right. Look at that. Duskborn, Sunshine, Emma Gaming, Elmo, Pose. Hello, you like my shirt? Thank you. I have, let me refocus it. True, good to see you. I was like, let me just pull up the microscope because I want to see these little stinky guys that are sucking all the sugars out of my colocasia. I have an elephant ear plant right in the back, the corner behind me, and every 2 days I have to spray it to get rid of these guys. These are spider mites. Check that out. They're actual arachnids, and they make little webs. I have a leaf under the microscope right here. Relaxing Wave, thanks for subscribing. Good to see you. Little stinker dinkers. They're tiny. Are they soft-bodied? They are. They are soft-bodied. So I've been spraying them with insecticidal soap and alcohol to get rid of them. I wonder if he'll move. I'm currently holding the leaf flat with my hand. Duvet. It's an arthropod. Yeah, but if they're small, they're cute for me. They're trying to get the sugars out. Yeah, they suck the sugars out of the plant. Do you want to see the leaf? Check this out. This is what the leaf looks like. Ta-da! And it has pigmented cells. Isn't that crazy? Each of those little, circles is a cell, and some of them are filled with pigment, and that's why the plant leaf looks red. I'm gonna pull it out and show it to you, but I have been spraying these guys for so long. Chromophores. Let's see your sunburn looks. Okay, this is a plant leaf. Ooh. Eddie Ready Go, thanks for subscribing. Dale, you went to see Noah Khan. Cool. Yeah, I've been using soap. Guess what I've also been using? Plant poison. Well, it's poison from plants. This is a rosemary oil. Rosemary oil is apparently a systemic deterrent. The plant takes up the rosemary oil, and over the course of like 2 weeks, eventually it incorporates the chemicals of the basically essential oils of rosemary into the plant, and it deters herbivory. So all those people who are really into aeroids, who grow all the little. Okay. Everyone says, is it safe to use on all plants? It says safe for herb, vegetable gardens, greenhouses, hydroponics. How it works. The unique formula allows... Unique formula of this product works by allowing the plant to uptake a small amount of rosemary. As the plant distributes the rosemary throughout the cell walls, a barrier is constructed. When an insect starts to feed on the plant, it comes into contact with the rosemary and causes the pest to stop eating, move on, or die. I went on Reddit, and all the people who grew the kind of elephant ear plants, they say it's not a matter of if they will get spider mites, it is when they get spider mites. How do you stop it? So I've been using this systemic pest control. We become stronger by what we take in. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger unless it cripples you. I gave a Dale was at a presentation on Monday. I gave a presentation on plant warfare, which is to say how plants survive and compete. And one of the big things is like, hey, plants basically use intense chemistry to survive and compete. And rosemary has great chemistry for preventing, insects. Jules, how's my day been so far? Day's been really chill. Woke up, had a bowl of oatmeal as per usual. Had a Celsius. I have not had any coffee today because I had the Celsius. Interestingly, whenever I drink Celsius, I just start sweating profusely. Yeah, and then I was like, I sat down at the desk around 11:15, and then it took me 45 minutes to get the stream on because I was like, it'd be fun if I made a video, like a TikTok video out of the stream today. And I was like, what would be fun to talk about? And I said, well, typically what happens is things naturally come up, and they're like fun as they naturally arise, but then when I edit it, I'll have to edit out stuff, and I might say 1 or 2 words, maybe not ideally. So what if I like temporarily script something? And so I made it like a miniature like outline of a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I've never done it. I've been wanting to do a video on native plants, specifically ecoregions, for like 2 years and never done it. So what if we talk about it today? And what if I can use the stream and just cut it up and then post it? So that was kind of what ended up me being stuck here for 45 minutes. I've had really bad allergies too. I feel congested. And it's kind of strange. Always down for some native plant talk. Dale, yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll try and we'll do one live. And if I don't like the way I present it, then I'll probably just re-record it outside of stream. But I counted all the little videos that I've made since I started posting in like 2021. And I have officially posted 398 like short form videos. Yeah. That's not including like, pictures and stuff. Zaz on YouTube. It's the healing that makes you stronger, not the killing. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I'm surprised I've posted that many. I was like, oh wow, okay. Well, maybe 399 will be about native plants. And I found some examples, and I had an example from Houston, and I was going to talk about Texas, and I said, well, I think there's a better example from LA. How about we talk about it now? And I'll do it casually, and then we might not end up using this version, because I'll put too much pressure on myself. Which is one of my greatest challenges, actually. I think is being like, well, it has to be this way, and it has to be that way. Rosemary is great for flavoring. You know what's cool? A lot of the herbs and spices we use are simply preservatives that we ended up keeping in our cuisine. Before we move on, though, I wanted to show you a new plant that I got. I am looking forward to growing this one for many decades. As long as I can keep it alive indoors, right here, then I think we'll be fine. This plant. Okay. Panther is Dark on YouTube says, you planted your calamansi sprout in succulent cactus mix. Is that good? Yeah. I have some here. You can even get this one from the Jeff Bezos Incorporated. But this one, says cactus and succulents, but citrus work pretty well in these types of mixes as well. So easier said than done. I will be keeping this one forever. You know when you go to the Home Depot and they have a bunch of plants that are incredibly cheap and you say, that's crazy, how is this even possible? Well, this is how it ended up with me. This plant, I love this plant. This plant is called Alawadia. That's a fun word to say. Alawadia. You should say it. I had to type it because I can never spell it right. That's a curse I've said. I'm learning how to spell it better. Let's use that terminology. You got the Miracle Grow one. Nice. That one I've found to be quite successful, Pantherus. Tomato, hello. Alawadia. Yeah, Posey May. Alawadia. I feel like if I tried to say it like David Attenborough, it would be a little better. The name is right here. Alawadia, and then there's a species called Procera. It's a plant from Madagascar. And people call it because, in North America, we kind of mix everything with what we are used to. Like Ocotillo, we say it's a Madagascar Ocotillo. This is a cute little plant. Every time I've seen it, it's always been so expensive. And I was like, well, it loves hot, full sun. And I have a lot of windows here, so I can do my best. But I never wanted to spend hundreds of dollars to get one. But for some reason, probably because you can propagate them easily from cuttings, Home Depot had 4 for like $25. So I said, wow, these are great. Yeah, they love a hot, full sun. Me too. This is a great plant. And they get really big. I am in awe of their structure. I love the shape. Home Depot, yeah. The issue, well, it's not an issue. One of the things about Home Depot is that most of the stuff they have there is pretty general and basic and, often mass-produced cheaply, and that's perfectly fine. But occasionally they'll have some fascinating things, like the Alawadia. And they've also had they had some really crazy, like, cultivated varieties of tropical indoor plants. So, anyway, they had like 3 of these. Yeah. Let's see. It's say that 10 times fast. Alawadia Prasara, Alawadia Prasara. I can't. My tongue is really tricky this morning. I'm having a hard time even speaking regular sentences. So, yeah. Arboreal octopus, hello. It looks like an alien plant. Yeah, some people call it the octopus plant. Let me show you a photo. So what people do is they'll grow them real tall and they'll cut them and then they branch. Let me see. Actually, this one was cut right here. Let me see if I can get it close. This tip was cut, and at the base of every little leaf, which is the succulent green jelly bean things, it can grow a new branch. So, focus. There we go. Here's those new green leaves. I love that deep green. But this plant is drought deciduous, so it'll drop its leaves when it needs to preserve its water. The leaves are pretty succulent, though. They're like little jelly beans. I want to repot it. Maybe we'll repot it today. Put a spine under the microscope? Okay. Let's do it. I'll take one. Well, it'll be woody. I'm curious what else we'll see. So Duskborn. Let's give it a gander. I'm going to take one from the bottom here, such that it doesn't disrupt the plant too much. These, I think, are thorns. I want to know if they're thorns or spines. Typically, I think it's derived from stem tissue. Thorns. A thorn is a branch. A prickle is from the epidermis. Thorny column. I guess they're thorns. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at it under the microscope. Apparently they're unusual. They're quite three-dimensional, so we'll see if we get it. Nate Sci-Fi. Okay, yeah, so while we're hanging out and chatting, if you got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I have swim trunks on and a Hawaiian shirt. Maybe we'll go to the pool later, we'll see. But just so you know, I have these weird bright blue pants on. It's an artifact of my desire to grab clothes readily available. Sticks on Fire is your favorite alien-looking plant. Oh yeah, that one's great. Euphorbia tiricale, cultivated variety, sticks on fire. It's a beautiful plant. Arboreal octopi. Nate Sci-Fi. Thanks for the advice, your Golden Pothos. It's beautiful again. She was thirsty. Okay, I'm glad it worked out. Bright blue swim trunks. Wolverine. I'm not cosplaying Wolverine. I could never be that cool. Do you get cats? Wait. Did you know cats get a little high from spider plants? I didn't know that. Posey May, I didn't know that. I know people have been messaging me about like what are plants that are safe for cats. Typically, anything that's an aroid in the Araceae that produces a spathe or a spadix is not safe for cats. But whenever I have pets, like I've had birds in my, house for a good while, I pretty much decided in the spaces where the animals are going to live, I'm only going to put ferns and palm trees. Are we no Big Bend Wall in chat? Yeah, of course. That's outrageous what they're doing, Duskborn. No, yeah. So ferns and palms. I had birds and they would fly on top of the palm trees and they nibble on the little leaflets and they would go to town, messing with the leaves. And I was like, that's good enrichment. And it's not going to hurt the plant that much. And because the palms are pretty fibrous, so it just kind of, shreds. It doesn't make a mess and it's not toxic. Your boyfriend has a cat, so when he moves in, there's some plants you need to get rid of. The string of pearls. Yeah. Better to be safe than sorry. Yay, palms. Yeah, Sable Miner. Yeah, you're a palm fan. Okay, Sable Miner. One of the things that I was going to talk about today was Guadalupe palm. Okay, I want to look at this again. This leaf, I'll show you. This is the Colocasia like taro plant I have, and it has been devastated by spider mites. All those little speckles and spots and discoloration, not great, right? On the underside, they also reside. But let's see if we can see another. I want to see if they're sucking or eating. Are they sucking insects? If you ask me, they suck. But what is their mode of detriment? How do they mess up the plant? How do they extract? I think they must. Where is my thingy? Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's so small. Blues could do, we can too. David Tennant intimidates his houseplant into not having brown spots. I haven't seen Good Omens. Never heard of it, actually. It's a silly scene. Interesting. David Tennant plays Doctor Who. I'm trying to see if we can see any spider mites in action. What's that? It looks like a spider mite right there. That looks like Rocky. He plays a demon. Oh. There was a movie that came out during COVID with like Tilda Swinton and like a demon. Got red-handed. Is he dead? He looks dead. Actually, yeah, the things on this leaf will probably be dead. Oh, look, there's stomata, my favorite. You see the stomata? They're like distinctly different. This must be Amphistomatus. Yeah. That's my new favorite word of the day, Amphistomatus. Where's my OneNote? What is the little thing that Marcus helped me learn to like click around? It was some program I downloaded that let me font, Discord, chess, annotate. That's it. Annotate's great. Okay, skip. Okay, look at all of these are stomata. These little things here, they have the 2 guard cells. Crazy. It's a whole landscape. I know, right? It's crazy. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff over here. Speckles and spots. I think I'm gonna try and rip the leaf to get a flat section that I don't have to pin down. Okay, we'll look at the thorn in a second. Duskborn. Okay, it's still not flat. Actually, maybe I won't spray the plant for like a week, and we'll let the spider mites come back in full force, so we can see their doings, their damages, their doings. What is that thing? Okay, let's look at a thorn. How's everyone's weekend going? I know that typically we don't stream on the weekends, but you know. I was gonna stream yesterday, actually. A plant streamer, TVDW. Hello. Eating your savory pie. What is a savory pie? That sounds British. Transatlantic flight. Oh yeah, you've been gone for a while, True, is that right? Starting your work week tonight, Tiny Harpy, okay. Best wishes. Jose May had to cancel some social plans because of cramps. Ah, okay. You're cozy and okay in general, that's good to hear. You were in Europe for 2 weeks, yeah. Chicken and mushroom. Duskborn, that sounds great. You perpetually live with fungus gnats or boreal octopi. Yeah, me too. Until I discovered... What I tried to do was eliminate the food source for the fungus by getting rid of the... for the fungus gnats by getting rid of the fungus. Then I decided to use bacteria that eat the larva. I think it's called BT. It's like a bacteria. Bacilliensis thunbergii or something like that. Saurus rex, you like my plants? Oh, thanks. Hotter than hell in Dallas, so you're hiding. Okay, yeah. Better to stay inside when it's that hot. It was great traveling in EU. Between the EU? Oh, traveling between the EU and UK was harrowing. Oh, because of the, like... immigration? We're gonna... Actually, let's repot this guy and pull off one of those things at the bottom. The Thor. Ryan, thanks for subscribing. The random thing that happened at the concert is actually met Gavin Newsom. That's... You met Gavin Newsom. I like his hair. It's very slick. Megastar Me is in Pokemon Go today. Oh, I saw the post they made with it running. Fungus gnats eating bacteria. No, the bacteria eating fungus gnats. Lord Protector of California. Lord Protector of California is a crazy title. Lord Protector of California. Okay. Bacillus thuringiensis subspecies israeliensis is a natural soil bacterium that very effectively kills fungus gnat larvae. Let me show you. I have it. I have some here. This is what I use. It's called mosquito bits. It's basically, I guess, I don't know the science, but my guess is that the bacteria sits in a spore form and it can be rehydrated. So it's encapsulated into granules. For application to plants, I apply like 1 tablespoon per half gallon, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then stir it, remove the granules, and then the bacteria are in suspension. They're kind of an opaque, kind of cloudy liquid. You pour it into the soil of the affected plants, and then it resolves it after a couple of weeks. I've noticed it works quite readily. You know, I mean, not readily like, you know, the next day they're all dead, but you're not going to reproduce successfully. Can we look at the bacteria under the microscope? Is it powerful enough? I guess we could if we use the oil one. Okay, well, maybe we should get it started. Relaxing wave. You think Ossoff is better looking than Gavin Newsom? Yeah, Gavin Newsom. Dale, I got to hear Gavin Newsom speak when he was like lieutenant governor or something at Berkeley. There was a class like Poli-Sci 183. That's basically like a 1 hour a week lecture class. That's 1 credit. And my friend was taking it. I think it was a sophomore. It was probably like 12 years ago. 12 years ago. And I was like, wow, this guy is real slick. He could say anything and I would buy it. He could sell me an old car and I'd say, hell yeah. Okay. There's a lot of fun things to do. How about we get the bacteria ready? I found a bunch of little glassware. I think we'll just put a few of these little things. I like the smell of it. We'll see what we can see. Very scientific. I think if I ate the bacteria, it'd be fine. My water. Cheers, bacteria. What a time to be alive. Okay, so then we'll sit. His smile got you last night, and his height. It's a lot of people. Okay, this is what we see, yeah? So we'll let it sit for a little bit. I better do the right thing. You thought I was gonna drink it? Is it safe to drink? You know, it's crazy that this plant, or this bacteria is called Bacillus thuringiensis subspecies israeliensis. and it kills a bunch of things. Really makes you think, right? Can I say that on Twitch? I didn't say anything of concern. Is it safe to eat them? I need to look this up. Yeah. In small amounts, it is safe for human consumption because it doesn't disrupt any of the essential pathways in humans. Drinking the bacteria water is safer than eating most of the food in the United States right now. Fair. Fleetwood Mac, do I have any favorite botanical gardens? You went to Brooklyn in the spring and loved it. Oh, that's amazing. I guess I have glass slides and cover slips and stuff. We might have to use the high magnification that requires the oil. But we'll do it. That's why we have it. To look at stuff like that. So, my favorite botanical garden I've been to is the Huntington Botanical Garden in San Marino, basically LA. And really, I spent 2 days there. It blew my mind. It was so magnificent. One of the things, too, I think that makes Botanical Garden really charming for me is if it includes a restaurant. Because I get hungry real quick. Every 3 hours, I have to eat something. And so the Botanical Garden there had a giant restaurant that had like 6 types of cuisine and beautiful outdoor seating. And so it's like, oh, let me go to the Cactus Garden for 2 hours and go grab a coffee and a burrito and then go look at the Chinese garden. You know, Denver Botanical Garden is nice, but the National Botanical Garden in DC is dense but diverse. True. I met some people that work at the National Botanical Garden, and their joke is that they need a literal act of Congress to be able to do anything because they're run by the federal government. Camille, I've not been to Longwood, but I know Longwood is one of the best in the U.S. One of my former co-workers, who was in a way my mentor, she worked at Longwood doing education there. She was like their education director, and so I learned a lot from her when I was in Austin. The palms of the Huntington are inspirational. Yeah. Sable Miner, do you have some favorite palms? Gonna meet your boyfriend's family in Atlanta for Thanksgiving. Second one is, oh, finally, can check out the famous carnivorous plant collection. Oh. The Atlanta Botanical Garden. Holograph Chrome. You went to the Botanical Garden in Dallas. You're so pretty. Yeah. The Botanical Gardens constantly blow my mind. My long-term goal in this life is to create a botanical garden that focuses on education. So, I'm saying that now. What is it? Not foreshadowing. Manifestation. We're doing manifestation. I'm going to create an educational botanical garden that helps people appreciate plants. If it takes me 5, 10, 73 years, it will happen. Botanical Garden in San Diego is also nice. Duskborn, yeah, I feel like they have a beautiful aesthetic. Hydrate for plant. Okay, let's water something. And Pepper Yarrow, thanks for subscribing. My dream is that this stream will eventually be taking place in a botanical garden that we create ourselves. The Lewis Ginter Botanical Garden in Richmond is both nice and historical. Ooh. Okay, we're going to hydrate this guy. I repotted him, and interestingly, I'm going to try him without a hole. This is a little pharaoh cactus that I repotted in this plant. Actually, I don't think it needs to be watered again. The one thing I do know about this is that pharaoh cacti can survive flooding pretty well, so I decided to test it out, more as a curiosity. This particular plant will get quite big, and it's in a pot that has a lot of pores in it. There's no hole in the bottom, but the terracotta breathes really well. It's still pretty wet. I thought it would have dried out yesterday in the hot window, full sun. The Gaston Garden for Educational Pursuit. There we go. Something like that. Maybe my name won't be in it. You've only been to Kew. Oh, the Eden Garden, the Eden Project surely counts. Kew is like the Mecca. It's like the Vatican for botanical gardens. Pepper Yarrow. Poinsettia, hello. Do I like Drosera? Okay, we have a friend on YouTube named the Mushu Factor who said, do I like Drosera? I love Drosera, and we have a lot of people here that also love Drosera. I was going to water this one. as part of the hydration. Tiny Harpy, never been to Botanical Garden. You don't have one in the city you're in. Okay. Well, one of the things that obviously is fun for me is when I travel, there's always one day dedicated to Botanical Garden. So if you visit a city that has one, maybe it's a fun time to see something new. Okay, what are we gonna do? Oh, the bacteria. Let me get the slide ready. But yeah, this little guy is still really wet. I might have to put him in the oven. No, probably not. The oven I have is gas powered, and the gas off gas is, I think, ethylene, which is a plant growth regulator signaling death. So I don't think we're gonna do that. You glad made it in time to garden in Denver? Ooh. It was in a little glass cabinet. Your echeverries became so leggy. You cut the leggy parts and little roots are growing. Cute! Are they leggy because of the etiolation? Because they need more light? Okay, I'm gonna put this guy in the window. Your favorite palm? Oh, the Andes wax palm. Oh my god, Sable Miner. That's a great one. Let's share this with everyone. Okay, our friend Sable Miner on YouTube. The Andean wax palm is gorgeous. I recently learned about this one. Ceroxylon, is that how you say it? Do you have a polka dot plant? Poinsettia, I do not. This stem is very glaucous, is that right? It has a lot of wax on the stem, that's why it gets the name. Pepper Yari, you just moved to a new home and you have zero idea what plants to get other than veggies. You're growing here. There's no windowsills. Okay. Do you want to grow stuff outside? Do you want to grow stuff indoors? Or indoor plants? Pretty reliable ones will be anything in the genus Trichina. Snake plants. The dragon trees. Peace lilies. Pothos. Okay, this is the Andean wax palm. I guess there's several of them. I just typed Andean wax. That's not what I meant. Okay, apparently there's some in San Francisco. Our friend Flora Grub has a great website. Where is this? Okay, these plants are from a cloud forest, and San Francisco is basically a cloud forest. Oh, there's some in the Botanical Garden. Wow, look at that trunk. Beautiful. Are these the biggest palms? I don't think they are. Oh wait. Sable Miner, you said they're the tallest known before they found redwoods. Okay. On my way to see the wax palms. La 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 la. Let's go see the yeah. I mean, I'll go. I'll do that. This is what their native habitat looks like. This is called a cloud forest. Isn't that something special? There's particular areas of the world that have a lot of moisture, particularly from a condensation of, water vapor, clouds. And the plants evolved. Like redwoods are cloud forest plants. They will produce roots up in their shoots, up in their leaves and stems. They'll make roots way high up to collect fog. And then the fog also precipitates on the leaves and then falls to the root zone. Even though it doesn't rain every day, there is basically fog rain. Cloud forests are really special. And that's what makes San Francisco Botanical Garden special too, is that they can actually make a cloud forest garden because they have natural clouds that form called fog. You need to go to bed. Okay, Tiny Heartbeat, take care. We love the microclimates. Yeah, the microclimates of San Francisco are really incredible. Let's get these slides ready. Good night, Tiny Heartbeat. I don't have a pipette yet. I should have bought that. If we buy it right now. I've been wanting to buy this. Oh, Shay, thanks for subscribing.
18 months.
18 months! When it was reading 18 months, my brain immediately was thinking it was in Spanish. And my brain was trying to piece it together. It's like, El Chin. I signed it there, but yeah. I'll get some right now. I was gonna do a little like community fundraiser to do it. But we've already been fundraising. Okay. I'm gonna do it off screen so that I can get all my card information. I'm gonna get the dyes and stains as well right now. Just so that it's... Okay. We're gonna get a bunch of dyes, stains, and it comes with plastic pipettes, which is what inspired me to do this right now, is the pipettes. Okay, this is what we got. Now I can share it. Hey, Lucky Chimera. Hello. Okay, we just ordered this, and I'm really looking forward to it. These are particular chemical compounds that will stain parts of cells. And so each of these has a different thing they do. Some of them will stain things that are acidic. Some of them will stain sugars. Some of them will stain areas where there's like active respiration. We'll have to look those up together. But look at those little plastic pipettes. That's what we needed. We'll get them later. I think on Tuesday. So probably Tuesday we'll do this again. And then it comes with more slides. I'm going to keep reusing these things, actually. I got to get some Windex to keep those things clean. It's those little cover slips. The cover glass that's 0.12 millimeters thick. That's the thing that I have to throw away. This is the immersion oil. We might need that today. Okay, it comes with Bismarck Brown. Named after Otto von Bismarck. Brilliant Crescel Blue. Cupric acetate. You know, my family, part of my family is from Lithuania. And their last name in Lithuania was Kuprevičių. But when they got to the United States, they said, what the hell is that? So they renamed themselves Kupric, or Kupris, which is like copper. And then they ended up being copper miners in Pennsylvania. So part of my family had a fun name, Kuprevičių. They changed it to something related to copper. And then they started mining copper. Isn't that cool? Yeah, neutral red. That's the one I think is going to be important. What is a neutral red? I should make a spreadsheet because I keep forgetting what these do. Neutral red stains living vacuoles in acidic compartments. Okay, so cell walls are very acidic, and in plant cells, the vacuole, which is, as I said in a recent video, in most cells, on average, a vacuole is 90% of that internal space. So, neutral red will allow us to see vacuoles, which are clear otherwise. So what you're saying is the original last name was too cool for the States? It was impronounceable. And it wouldn't really be my... I guess it... Yeah, there's a lot of last names in everyone's families, right? So one side is Gaston, or Gaston. The other side is Kuprevičių, Villarreal. Then what is the other name? Spanish name. I guess there's a ton of names. Guess. Like the... Oh, you want to wager a guess? That was one of the last names. Armores? Something like that. Not Almarez. Maybe? I think one of my family's names is Almarez. Almoraz? Something like that. One of the white passing Latinas? Sure. Alvarez? I think that's what it is. It might be Alvarez or Almarez. It's crazy because my grandma's last name, and I didn't remember. The worst thing about being Welsh is the names are really plain. Really? Pepper? What do you mean? Maybe they feel plain because it's just that cultures have like used them primarily. Memories going? No. It's simply that we never talk about it. I mean, I've probably heard the name 3 times my whole life. Roberts, Davids. Okay, those are fun names. Let's see. I think I better get real lucky with trying to get that. I don't think they're dense enough. Okay, well, let's prepare it. Prepare the slide. Get ready. I think what I'm gonna do is just grab one of those blobs and like smush it and put it underneath. Put it underneath the cover slip, maybe. I watched The Odyssey the other day. You thought it was a shot glass. For a chemist, it's a shot glass. This thing, someone, when I was at Zilker Botanical Garden, came and gave me a begonia, and the begonia was growing in this thing. So I kept it. The beaker. My pinky finger is up. I don't know, that just happened. Pepper yarrow. You grow leeks to even it out. Leeks are quite unusual, you know. Eat leeks in March and wild garlic in May, and all the summer long the physicians may play. I'm gonna use the restroom. We'll be right back. We'll try and see if we can see anything. Okay, Dale, before I go, actually, the Odyssey, we got tickets to see it in 70mm, which is cool. And overwhelming because it was so much. Is it any good? I think everyone should see it. It's fantastic. It's when I was watching, I was like, hey, this kind of feels like Dune. I was like, well, of course. It's like an epic. It's like follows a very specific like story writing arc, you know. So yeah, if you like Dune or Lord of the Rings, then you would like the Odyssey. It's the same kind of story, you know, really cool. So I recommend it. Definitely see it in theaters. You heard it's really loud? Yeah, there was I won't spoil anything. There was one part of the movie where for like half a second I was in like pain and discomfort because of the sound. There was like something in the sound design that was really uncomfortable. And let's not spoil it for anyone here, but yeah. Don't say anything about what it if you've seen it. But yeah. There are components where it was it was very great. I would recommend it. You had to read it in high school. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people did. I never read it. So I didn't have any understanding of what was going to happen, actually. You wish movie theaters were subtitled. Yeah. Yeah, the subtitles would have helped me a lot, actually, in this movie. I prefer subtitles in general for most media, but my partner doesn't really want to see the subtitles. Drew, you really enjoyed the Odyssey? Yeah, it was good. I would recommend seeing it in theaters, and I think that's the best way to see it, is in a theater. You know, the movie I think will be very popular for decades to come. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom. We'll be right back. See you. I was going to say something else about the Odyssey, but I forgot. Mario wasn't in it. I thought this was going to be the sequel to the Super Galaxy. Turns out it wasn't.
Welcome to the garden where many plants are found. We'll take a little hike here soon and see what is around. Perhaps we'll see the birds or the butterflies. Keep your eyes open now and look onto the sky. Welcome to the garden where sunshine abounds. Flowers and trees and butterflies are living all around. So please enjoy the day and have lots of fun. Because before you realize it, the day will all be done.
How are the plants in the Odyssey? How are the plants in the Odyssey? I enjoyed it. They were limited. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Duskborn, the Lotus. There was Lotus. It was I think that was the only thing I was disappointed in, actually, was the Lotus. They used, I mean, obviously they want to have a very clear, like, visual object that is a lotus and people know the flowers. But I was like, oh, I'd really hope they'd use the rhizome. That's what you actually eat, the lotus rhizome, the lotus root. You don't eat the petals. It would look like an artichoke that had, like, dyed blue, basically. But it was shot on location in a bunch of different places, and so I was looking at the landscapes and I was like, this looks like Italy. This is very much like a Mediterranean scrub environment. I should write Mr. Nolan. Oh yes. Yes. Mr. Nolan will take my regards with great gravity. No, I don't think he cares. I mean, I think he did the right thing, but I'm feeling like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, well, actually, the black hole would have, it's a story. You make choices to, identify key parts of the story. You don't try go for accuracy and everything. Just like in science, actually. In science, you have to create stories for conveying our understandings of the world. That's what a model is. When we create scientific models, we omit a ton of information because we're trying to convey a specific piece of knowledge or story. If a model included everything, you wouldn't be able to convey that thing very well. So, yeah. He doesn't need my opinion. Dequanric. Hello, how am I doing? I'm doing great. We're about to look at this bacteria under the microscope. I don't have any... The plum pudding model? Basically every model, Lucky Chimera. Every model in science omits information. And also it might even present things inaccurately. It might present things inaccurately, but it will be good enough to convey what it's trying to teach us. Like plant cell model. I mean, you probably know this. Plant cell models are inaccurate. But they really show us everything inside the plant cell. Let me pull one up. Any of these is not realistic. Because one, the vacuole would be most of the space. The blob here would be the majority of it. But if you just made a giant blob with little tiny things around it, that wouldn't convey much, would it? So we create an artistic representation that allows us to understand the complexity. So in this model right above my face and stream, the artistic choice for communicating information is the cell has a great complex host of organelles that interact to create one living unit. And the vacuole is one of them. Favorite block in Minecraft? That's a good question. Is Spodosol a thing in Minecraft? That was the first thing I thought of. Spodosol? Podzol? That I don't ever use Podzol. I use grass, but I like it. I like that it's in the game. Moss? Moss is good. I think grass actually is my favorite. Legitimately, because I love to... I like to watch things grow. And you can put down dirt, and guess what? Grass grows on top of it. Moss is underrated. Yeah, Ethanful, who's one of our beautiful, lovely community members, built a moss farm on our server. Every picture tells a story, don't it? That's right, Sable Miner. They added mycelium. Yeah, so cool. We love Ethanful. That's right. Who doesn't? What are we gonna do? Oh, the microscope. Okay. Remy. This drink has mushrooms in it. I don't know what kind, but it feels good. Okay. You keep moss terrariums in real life. You're like, I'm not pepper. Ooh, pepper. That's cool. Moss. I visited this wonderful business that's right down the street from me, and she lives near me too. She has a place called Planted Design, and she showed me all of her art and living wall installations, and they import moss from Seattle and Europe, and then they arrange it beautifully. The mushrooms are so underrated, how much potential they have. Mushrooms, yeah, if you want to kind of gauge someone, my gauge is, do they like mushrooms? And just thinking about that, because if they like mushrooms, they're probably going to be open-minded, and they'll be open to unusual things in the world, because mushrooms are some of the most strange organisms. There's, 23 distinct sexes. The mushrooms they might have 3 nuclei in one cell. There's a certain kind of punkness to them. Culinarily, they're different from everything else, So when I was an intern, one of the gardeners I worked with said, hey, if you want to find good friends, make sure that they like mushrooms. And that stuck with me. And I still feel that way. If someone is cool about mushrooms, they're probably going to be relatively open-minded and easygoing and thoughtful. That's a lot of extrapolating, but I think that's kind of the case. Mycology is relatively new in terms of science, but it's obviously been part of indigenous knowledge for thousands of years. We know so much about mushrooms, and we also know so little. I'm trying to look at... Okay, so there's this one mushroom that has 17,000 gender alleles. Mushrooms are crazy. They're also body horror for plants. We've seen things people can't even believe. Yeah, we foraging for mushrooms and trying to predict their ways. Interesting, where they're going to pop up next. Yeah, Remy, mycology is very fascinating. There's so many new species being discovered, so frequently as well. All right. Let's give it a go. Try our hand at this. This will be our first time trying to see anything that's a bacteria. How big are bacteria? I wonder how big they are. If you like fungi, you're probably a fun guy. Put that on a t-shirt, Duskboar. Not that I'm saying that you should design a t-shirt or something. I'm just making a joke about how it's a fun expression. There's some days when you wake up and it feels your mouth and tongue feel heavy and it's hard to speak. And on days like that, I pick up a different speaking affectation so I can get the words out clearly. And that's definitely one of those days right now. Something strange. Maybe it was a very intense day for me yesterday. So busy day yesterday. My body's trying to recover. Forte! Hello! Open our server. Yes, I will. We'll open it after we do a little thing here. Remind me if I forget. Metal poisoning? Really? Do I have metal poisoning? Changes in weather. Yeah, allergies maybe? Hydrate, thanks. I'm gonna drink the bacteria. I don't think I have metal poisoning. What happened to the new microphone? Oh, these? I still have them, but they're mostly for recording in the field. Dry mouth from snoring. I don't think I've been snoring. I'm gonna use this horticultural wire. Right. Hopefully we can get set. Have y'all been playing Pal World? I'm quite fascinated with it. I've been thinking about playing it on stream. No one ever thinks they've been snoring, and then you watch the videos that you have in your bedroom everywhere, and you're snoring like crazy. Bonsai from avocado seed. Cute! Interesting. I never thought about doing bonsai with avocado. Using the wire, yeah? Maybe we'll try that. You got confused by the menus. I think Power World is a little overwhelming at first, but I think once you get used to it, it's the right amount of complexity. It's not too much, not too little. At least it works well for my brain. But oh my god, I was playing with my friends, and I built a little ranch house. And then on Wednesday when we played, at the very end of our playing session, our little gaming session, a giant mammoth destroyed the entire house I built. Which is so funny. You've been playing Field of Mystery instead, eh? I think for me it's always fun to have a video game to snuggle back into, to unwind. I've been playing a little less guitar, but I started playing again yesterday and it was amazing. You sent me a video. Okay, Duskborn, I'll check it out. Kaba. You want to get Pal World? It was on sale recently. Pal World is, the Mammorest. The Mammorest, Remy rampaged through and destroyed the house that I built. It was pretty wild. I thought it was hilarious. Mario Dude was there. Mario Dude said, hey, there's a Mammorest destroying our base. And I was at a different base. We had 2 bases. And I was like, oh, he's cutting a tree. Don't worry about it. And he's like, no. Our first base is being destroyed by a Mammorest. And it's like, what? So I teleported there. And the whole house is gone. And half the pals are dead on the ground. I was like, what is going on? Crazy, right? Okay. I'm gonna forget to open the server, so. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso. You quit playing video games if you conquered Angry Birds on 2012. You beat Angry Birds and then you were done with video games? I had a rule growing up as a kid that was we could only play video games Friday night to Sunday midday, which was to prevent us from being addicted during the week. So I got a lot of homework done. Got a lot of work done. I basically would read, I would memorize all the Pokemon guidebooks during the week. So the only way I could engage with Pokemon as a kid during the school day was when I read the books. So I memorized everything about the game. Okay, Tomato, take care. I'd memorize everything about the game. And then I would play in the closet, actually. I would wake up Saturday morning and I would go in the closet and I'd sit like this. And I would go like this. For hours. Hours of gaming in the closet. Just like that. It was a great life. There were signs. Dale, I'm learning more. I'll be very vulnerable. Yesterday I realized, I've known that ADHD-like behavior I have has been affecting my life in many ways. And yesterday, I realized it's really been hard for me to do work stuff because I'm completely independent. I make my own schedules, I make my own plans, and yesterday I had to come to realization hey, the current way that I'm moving through the world is not exactly the path I want. I'm doing a lot of fun things, but I could be using time maybe in greater ways. Being in charge of your own schedule is dangerous for ADHD brain, exactly. So, that is kind of how yesterday was me trying to process all that and, realizing that, okay, that you don't help with the ADHD either? No, it's perfectly good. I have time set aside for fun and nonsense, and this is indeed that. And there's educational components to this as well. But yeah, one of the things that is very useful for me is regular events, but then they also stress me out. We used to do monthly lectures on stream, and those were so fun. And then I got really busy with other stuff, and I realized, wow, okay, I think I was getting really panicked about them, and I would spend a lot of time trying to work on them. We get used to being his nonsense. Sassy Frog, hello. You're on meds. Yeah, I find it was impacting your writing, so now you do what you want. Pepper, that makes sense. One of the things is that, yeah, I'm going to see a doctor at the end of the month with the possibility of having medication to help me when I want to try and focus on getting things completed. But anyway, okay, the Minecraft server is open. What I'm trying to share is that I realized that there's specific things that I want in my career, in my life, and yesterday I came to recognize that the way that my brain operates makes it harder, so creating a structure for that is ideal. Let's take a look. Under the microscope. I don't know how big the bacteria is. So for folks who are just getting here, we are about to look at a suspension of bacteria that break down chitinous organisms. I don't know how big they are. I don't know what we'll see. We might see a ton of little things. We might not be able to see them because they need to be stained. We might be able to see the outline of them. Okay, well, I spilled it everywhere. Try again. So I am a little clumsy, and I keep a ton of towels around the room because I spill water quickly and readily. Any danger from the spill? Nope. I could drink this and probably be okay. But yeah, Lord have mercy. Well, yeah. For folk, you can't see this, but there are towels basically everywhere on the ground off of camera because I water the plants and it spills everywhere. Always remember your towel. That's right. Get it. Try again. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, always remember your towel. Cute. That didn't go great, but it's fine. Spilling is also a sign of ADHD, really? I check every box. I've taken all the tests. Oh. You passed. I saw a tweet that said they let you raw dog ADHD and autism until you turn 30. Pretty accurate. Once I hit 30, I realized, wow, really struggling to exist. This is a mess, but we'll try. Luckily, the bacteria is not dangerous, so I don't know what we'll see. We might not see anything. We'll discover it together. Yeah, Dale, you are correct. I don't know how many bacteria could even be in this because of the see if we can focus on a bubble or something. Okay. Is it dust? Wobbly. Don't hit the table. Table will wobble. I don't know what that is. Little shrimps. Famous last words. Is that dust? It is dust. Great. We have dust. Maybe we try another sample. Those are the bubbles. Okay, that's the water moving under the cover slip. Do you see the tiny bubbles? Tiny bubbles. Might have a cover pot in there. Maybe that would be really weird. So this is what I would expect to see. Little tiny, looks like bubbles moving around. That might be the bacteria. Okay. Oh, okay, yes. So those are bubbles, and the things that are moving are the bacteria. This is, okay, I've taken a microscopy class in college, and one of the things we had to do was look at bacteria, reawaken bacterial spores, and then watch them move under a microscope. Bacteria buddies. The little tiny bubbly mubbly guys are bacteria. I don't know what the big things are bubbles. And the light is like warping around them so they look like rainbows. There are bubbles in the slide. Maybe we can get closer. The gap between what you expect to see and actually see is where the science happens. That's right. Ta-da! Presumably that's just a bubble. Some of them might be moving. Because they're gay. They are gay. Why are you gay? How do you know they're gay? Interesting. It helps. Why are they running? Because they know that they're in danger. Let's try the oil. Let's try. Yeah. We'll get copyright strike, but we just can't post it. I cannot get this out. Let's try the oil. What do our bacteria buddies eat? I need to cut the tip. Does anyone want to see what they eat? I think they... I don't have the wipes for the lens. You like the silence? Jules. Okay. I'll reduce sound. A new one. We haven't tried this lens before. Ooh. Everything's moving a lot. This is the highest magnification we can get. Viewers on YouTube. Okay. It's making you want a microscope. This type of bacteria is called BT. Bacillus thurb. Let me look it up. I can always. The specific epithet is always tricky. Bacillus thuringiensis, subspecies Israeliensis. Strain, this specific strain, is called SUM6218, and it is in spore form. They can basically desiccate, and then when they rehydrate, they awaken. So that's how they sell them in these granules. They sell them in these little granules. You soak them in water, they wake up, and it's like yeast, I guess, right? That's when you bake bread, you get the baker's yeast. What a lovely name. Okay, maybe I can change it. The issue is that this table that the microscope is on is a very cheap, wobbly table. Okay, those are bacteria. They just look like little blobs because that's all that we can make out of them with the light moving around them at present. There's more details, obviously on the organism, but we're using visible light to view them. It kills bugs. Pepper Yarrow, you also awaken when you're rehydrated. Me at the pub. Maybe we can change these features. Brightness. Contrast. Gamma. Hue. Let's make it look a little green. I wouldn't be caught wearing red. Dead. Green. Have you seen The Wiz? When they visit Oz? Okay, well, this is our first time using this specific posture. Thank you. First time using this oil immersion. What is it called? Oculus. It's wobbling. Yeah, they're in water. I wish we could see this better. Does anyone know any tips or tricks? Maybe I changed some of the settings. And we see if we can see it. They're wobbling. They're vibing. They got good vibration. Put on rave music? I don't have rave music. Okay, well, those are the bacteria. Zakap! Zakap! Hello! Thank you for raiding. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, raiders. Guess what? You came into Bacteria Stream. You've been bacteriaed. We're observing Bacillus bacteria. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Thank you for raiding. Zakap. Looks like water cells. How's it going? Wait, what were y'all playing? Thanks for raiding. Welcome in. This is our bacteria rave and bugle call. So we have folks on YouTube as well. We were raided by a wonderful individual. Well, let's get things started. Actually,
it's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get things started on the Gaston Show tonight. It's time to soak the air plants. It's time to dress up right. Now let's set those plants up on the Gaston Show tonight. Why are we always stuck here? Why do we always stay?
I think I found the answer. It's 'cause we're made to play.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. And now let's get things started.
Why don't you get things started?
All right, let's get it started. On the educational, celebrational, gastational, superstational. This is what we call the Gaston Show.
what? Time to sing a song of our people. What do I think of sorghum as an indigenous staple for Africa? Beautiful. Sorghum is a great grain. It does so well in Africa. It does so well in Africa. People started growing it in Texas. And Texas has some of the best dove hunting, actually. Some of the best dove hunting because of all the sorghum that grows. And the doves will eat all the crops. Sorghum's great. I'm a fan of a good grass. We have a microscope right now. We're looking for bacteria. So if you have little gnats, they're called fungus gnats. They're like little flies that live in your plants. Thoughts on tiger nuts? Speaking of plants in Africa, I don't really know tiger nuts. I'm not acquainted with tiger nuts, actually. Should I be? Tiger nuts. I'm gonna look this one up. Oh, tiger nuts. Okay. Oh. Tiger nuts. Yellow nutsedge. Is this what you're talking about? Pretty invasive in North America, but very easy to grow. Very starchy. Edible. These are little tubers. They live in wet areas. So if you ever see one of these things, it's probably a wet place. Nutsedge. Nutsedge and tiger nut. Gotta eat that tiger nut. That should be an ad. Are you hungry? Why not try tiger nut? And there's a tiger that screams. And then they talk about the plant. One of the oldest possibly farmed plants. Amazing. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, these, I know them in North America from their invasiveness, that they grow so well here that surely they're great overseas. Their milk is so tasty. Really. It's a noxious weed in your yard. You want to start a sorghum farm? Not sure where to begin. Well, Moti? Where do you live? I feel like it needs to be appropriately hot to grow sorghum properly. You know? Horchata. Did people use tiger nuts to make horchata? You live in Cape Town. Okay. Perfect. I feel like you would probably be able to do it pretty well. One of the things I always recommend is evaluate the soil in your zone. You could do a soil test. Sometimes there's governmental resources that provide you surveys of soil. That way you understand what is in the ground. Maybe the soil is kind of weathered and beaten down and you need to restore it with cover crops or something. You know? So, yeah. They'll take care. Save up money to come to Cape Town in a couple years. Visit again. Ooh. Yeah, and we were looking at the little bacteria. You can buy them in these little granules. The bacteria can stay in spore form, where it kind of desiccates and kind of just awaits to be rehydrated, and then it wakes up. This particular bacteria is the Bacillus thuringiensis. The tiger nuts, genus, yeah. Anthrax, yeah, exactly. They are like that. They have certain magical powers. It's not magic, it's science. Sable Miner, yeah, that does sound delicious. Grind them up. Oh. Grind them up and make horchata. Spain, Morocco, probably North Africa, throughout North Africa. You can't buy bits in Canada. You'd have mosquito dunks. Really? Oh, you can't buy this in Canada? Interesting. Okay. Well, at the beginning of stream, Duskborn said, hey, we should look at one of the thorns of this plant from Madagascar. So I think we'll look at that next. They're extremely three-dimensional. So we probably want it to be pretty planar to be able to get a look at it. I'm gonna have to cut it. Morgue. Okay. I have towels everywhere for reasons that are obvious. Filling water. Spillage issues, indeed. We lost some... Oh! Green static! Okay. Green static. You have a request. Fortune Fish! Ta-da! For folks who are new here, this is Fortune Fish. He tells you what you wish. You shake him real good, and he gives you some information. Hopefully it's useful. I don't make the rules. He says, your greatest fear will become your biggest strength soon. Green static. Don't read the text at the bottom. No, it says Panda Express. Why is that focusing? Well, you can take my word for it. Fortune Fish! Used to buy all your towels at Bed Bath & Beyond until they went under. What is the beyond? Heaven, hell, who knows? Bed, Bath, and Hell. Chamomile King, hello. Abnormal effects. We're gonna clean that up real quick. Bed Bath & Beyond went under. Have you ever been there? It's a beautiful place. And most of the stuff you can get from somewhere else. You're eating melted Jolly Ranchers. Really? Sigla. What flavors? Okay, let's cut off one of these thorns. We're gonna see what it looks like. I have no idea what it is gonna look like. Typically, I'm always really surprised by plant tissue under the microscope. I learned what amphistomatus meant last time we looked at the microscope. They look thorny. Yeah. Extremely round. We'll try looking at it uncut. Alex, hello. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work the way I'd hoped, but maybe we'll see something. It's way too thick. The illumination. I have to put a light on top, bro. Okay. Unpack your wardrobe, but you're watching Thorns Microscope instead. Well, this is what it looks like from the side. I think I need to slice it. Need to get razor. I'm gonna try and maybe cut it with this. I might macerate some things, but maybe it won't. Okay, well, we definitely macerated it. We like smashed it. And it's too thick to see through. There was the same issue with the air plant. We're butchering the thorn. I need to slice it real thin. That's what we want. I don't have a light. Well, we tried. Let's look at a very thin leaf. This is a piece of a cinnamon leaf. Oh. Oh, look at those little hairs. Those are trichomes. It has trichomes. I didn't know cinnamon leaves had trichomes. Hold on. Cinnamon leaf trichomes? Each of those things is a cell that elongates on the epidermis. Okay, let me look this up. Cinnamon leaf trichome? I'm not a robot. Cinnamon. Microscopic examinations of cinnamon. Okay. Bring me back. Okay, well, let's look at this. I'm gonna take some photos. Snap. This is like Pokemon Snap, but in real life. Cinnamon from the rainforest. Hey, guess what? Pepper yarrow. This is a cinnamon tree. Its bark is used to make cinnamon. The genus is Cinnamum. I watered it yesterday, but it always has a few little pests, so I have to inspect it from the underside of the leaves. I'll show you. It's an extremely thirsty plant, and it has fungus gnats. We'll flay the tree and use it to intensify the fall vibes. No, they smell like cinnamon. I think the bark, if I scratch it, it does, but it's a very young tree, so I don't want to disrupt it. It's growing really well. I put it in this new pot. The pot has a wicking mechanism in the bottom. Let me see if I can show you without spilling water on myself. Here's the reservoir. You can see there's the water in there. It has You can pour water in here to fill the reservoir, right here, and then it has a rope that brings it up into the soil. I think it works well with this plant because it likes to be wet frequently. It is growing really well. Check out the tip. Ooh, got a leaf in my eye. All of these new green leaves are new growing points that are growing really, really well. It starts off kind of waxy, looks fake almost, and then it fills with water, becomes lignified. These cells have a lot of structure to them. So I give a lot of sun. A lot of people grow these as houseplants, like me. And the one thing is that they love sun and they love water. The pot is really cool. Yeah, I was surprised that I could find them so readily on Amazon, even. You tell me grow Chinese lantern plants. Really? Baron Blasphemer. Trying to grow that one. That's a hard one to grow. It's a tree, right? How much bark do you get from a single tree? A lot? I think once it's big. I think it... I don't remember the number, but it was like after 5 years or 3 years, you can actually start harvesting it, and you can do it in such a way that it won't harm the plant. It will regrow. Anyway, that's a cinnamon tree. I love the venation. The venation is the pattern of the veins on the leaf. It looks like a little bird's foot. Maybe that's why I like it. It looks like a bird. But the venation, there's 3 prominent veins in the leaf instead of 1 midrib. The midrib is the one in the middle, is the big one in the middle. This one actually has like 3 ribs. Very pretty tree, yeah. Beautiful color, beautiful hue. I've told this story a couple times, but I was at a nursery here in the Bay, and the manager was like, yeah, a lot of people are growing cinnamon trees right now. And I said, really? They said, yeah. The gardeners say that the cinnamon tree is probably, or the horticulturalists who grow them are going to say, oh, the cinnamon tree is going to outcompete the figs. I said, that can't be true. Figs are a staple of houseplants. And, I mean, figs are pretty finicky. If you ever had a fiddle leaf fig, most figs are really sensitive to deficiencies in light and water, and they're not forgiving. This one, as long as you keep it wet and give it a lot of light, it grows really well. You never seen this one in the UK? Yeah, I mean, I've barely seen it in the US. I know people in like Brazil will have them. I've seen like there's influencer follow who live in like the tropics in Brazil and stuff, and they have these plants outdoors and stuff. You should have got one when you're done there. Next time. It's give it as much sun as possible and as much water. And I realized the pot is really significant. It got kind of root bound. I mean, I potted it in something that was kind of maybe too small. The pot was maybe too small to begin with. But then I repotted it and it started growing like crazy. I'm going to try and let it get real full. I'm not going to do any pruning right now. I want it to take up a big form. And one of the things too is that a lot of the plants I have here, they're kind of small versions of plants that get really big. And my goal is to eventually use them in a botanical garden or like greenhouse as like a significant statement plant and say, hey, I've had this plant since 2025 and now it's 2050 or whatever. Anyway, would this be considered palmate? Palmate is when the leaf looks like a little hand with distinct like sinuses or little gaps between the sections. This is called a simple leaf. The leaf is entire. It has an entire leaf blade, all the tissues connected, and we can describe the tip and the base of the leaf, but I think there's a term for the venation when it looks like this. I just don't know. I didn't really study venation that much because typically venation is not that useful in plant ID and any field of plant science I've been involved in. The venation doesn't really matter, but interestingly, as the new leaves emerge, they produce 2 little protective covers. And the protective cover, we removed one of them. Yeah, true. Sassafras looks like a little mitten or a little ghost. But check that out. These are the trichomes. Can we get closer? I think we can. Take a closer look at that leaf. Okay, find the right. Oh my god. That's crazy. We should just look at every plant under the microscope, huh? Well, we got those stains coming in soon. You have some plants that are 30 plus right now. That's amazing. I think the oldest plant that I have right now, Sable Minor, is maybe like 23. But I'd like to have many that are old. We're gonna, yeah, they're pointy. We're gonna take some snaps of these pictures. But look at that. I believe that these are a single cell. Get closer. I think we can. Hopefully we don't move it. Oh. There's a line that doesn't look right. It looks like an artifact. Ooh. Okay, so they're three-dimensional. Let me see if I can move this slightly. The trichomes stick out from the outer surface called the epidermis. Let's look at this one right here. We're going to look at this one right here. What I'm going to do is I'm changing the focus, which is like slicing through space with light. As we slice through the space with light, we see specific points. This is like the tip, and we go down to like the root. Not the root, but like the base of the trichome. There's a stomata. Hey, check that out. Surprise. I don't know why it's not very clear. Maybe it's projecting out a bit. You see two distinct... Yeah, it's hard to see it really well. Maybe we'll just look around. What other things can we see? Okay, there's another stomata. And there's like one behind that one and one right there. The microscopic pores. Kind of creepy looking. You see it? You have a Pothos at least 11 years old. It was gifted. Really? That's cool. Pothos can live for so long. My mom still has a Pothos that she had when she was in college. Okay. What else do we notice? I definitely see the trichomes, and we've seen stomata. Maybe we should look out so we can see in better. One of the things is that I have not put a cover slip on this. So basically, I've taken a piece of the tissue, a piece of this leaf, I've cut it. And as time goes on, it's desiccating, so it's curling. It was flat when I put it on there, and as it curls, it'll be harder to look at it under the microscope because it is not flat. And we're looking through slices of space with light. Okay, there's another stomata. Stomata! One right there, one right there. We got trichomes in the foreground. What is that thing protruding up? Another trichome? I don't know what these trichomes are specifically for. I'm not smelling anything. Stomata! Stomata! Yeah. I put the cinnamon tree in the back. And anything else we should look at here? If not, the thing we're looking at is a protective tissue that cinnamon trees make on their new branches that emerge. Fig trees also do this. Fig trees have a protective tissue that protects a leaf as it's growing out. I'm really curious to see what that is. Davey. I can only tell you I'm on the show. Okay. Well, let's look at the fig leaf sheath. They look like hedgehog quills. Yeah, that's a very good point. This is a fig, an ornamental ficus. And when the leaves emerge, on this particular cultivated variety, they're like white with pinkish colors. And when they're done, they just kind of fall off. So if you have a fig tree, you might see a lot of like fallen leaf pieces. Like in the pot, they're always fall on the bottom here, you see? They dry out. Well, we have one here that's kind of on its way out. Let's look at it. I'm gonna cut a piece that's sufficient. It is pretty desiccated, so... Ficus elastica, that's right. water on the slide. It's a leaf sheath, not a leaf. It's the protective tissue. Love. You love irrigation. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Weird. I did put water on this to keep it flat. And there is stuff moving, which is strange. What is going on? Why is it moving like that? What the hell? Let's record this. Can I record, please? Would that be water moving? Maybe it is starting to absorb the water I put on the slide, and it's moving it through its xylem. Okay, why can't I record? Hello? Oh, because I have this thing on. Okay. Let's just get that for posterity. I have no idea what's going on. Capillary action? Yeah. It's not active transport, right? It looks crazy. Yeah, what? Oh, it's stopping. Maybe it just has like empty channels and the water's moving through the xylem. What do you think? I really have no clue exactly what's going on. Let's get closer. Okay. When does it realize it's dead? When does it realize it's dead? That's a good question. It looks like it's moving really big things. I don't think that's... There's water moving these blobs around. Water's moving that stuff. This could be an ASMR channel. Maybe, yeah. I guess so, if you say so. When does anything realize it's dead, right? Okay. Movement is subsiding. Put some dye in the water. That's a really good idea. I don't really have any dyes. We did order microscope like stains, so maybe we redo this. But yeah, we just bought dye, so maybe we redo this later as well with different stains. Because this tissue, we have plenty of it. Leaf cover. Trippy. Yeah, weird. Some more moving over here? So it's moving something. Through these very specific channels. I've never seen anything like it. Let's follow it. What is going on? Hydrate? For me or the plant? Probably for me. We're gonna follow where it goes. It looks like it's turning that way too. Okay, let's follow it. I'm gonna sit here and we'll follow it. Okay. I'm losing it. It's so fun. I agree. Okay, let's maybe follow the up. It's not going up, it's going this way. Maybe it's gotta change the focus because it might be moving not in a plane. We don't know where it's going. It's like moving to this like white spot. Maybe there's a hole right there and it's like being pushed out of this hole. I don't know. Let's come out and look at the big picture. Okay, there's a lot moving over here. Okay, it goes up and then it turns. Let's see if we can find a different stream. It's leaking. Yeah. Could be leaking. They say after you officially die, the stem cells deep inside can function for days. Interesting. That makes sense. Okay. Well, we have some stains coming in the mail, and we have a lot of these tissues, leaves, but we can come look at these later and see what's going on again. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back.
When you look at the national dex, the very first pure grass type Pokemon you encounter is this one here. This is Tangela.
The Vine, Hawkman.
The vine Pokemon, yes. It is covered in these blue vines. Some of the earlier Pokédex entries say that it is seaweed-like, and some people think that it's based on a tumbleweed or some kind of Salatinella, but I think that's a bit far-fetched if you ask me. What it really reminds me of is a plant called Cynacium, which is a succulent plant that has these thick, succulent stems and no leaves from Africa and Indian Ocean and Pacific Islands. There are a lot of different species of Cynacium. Many of them don't have leaves and they just have a nice thick stem with waxes on it. And these waxes give it a nice blue-green hue. This waxy cuticle is what makes them blue, and so Tangela is blue, and conceivably it has a lot of wax on it. So if we get a field of Cynacium like the one here, we can add some eyes and some boots, and then sure as sunshine, it looks like our little friend Tangela. So this is what I perceive Tangela to be inspired by. You might think something else, and that's perfectly all right. Feel free to share that with me. I'm always interested in your thoughts. It's all about learning and growth.
I'm at the International Water Lily Collection, which is in San Angelo. Water lilies are an interesting group of plants because they're some of the earliest flowering plants. So water lilies are in the family Nymphaceae. They have an underground rhizomatous stem, so a little stem that lives in the mud, and up from it, it shoots its leaves to the surface, and they go up and down with the water levels. But they're used throughout the world for symbology. There's like in Bangladesh and Iran, and we also in Texas have a state water lily called Texas Dawn. Let's see if I can find it here.
It's fun to charter an accountant and sail the wide accountant sea, to find, explore the funds offshore and skirt the shows of bankruptcy. It can be manly insurance with occupium semi-annually. It's all tax deductible, we're fairly incorruptible, we're sailing on the wide accountancy.
Why are mice afraid of bluebonnets? It's because of their claw, which is actually not a claw, it's just a stamen. But these are Texas bluebonnets. It's a state flower of Texas, and there's 6 species of bluebonnets that are all the state flower of Texas. It's a member of the bean family, so we saw the clover, and this one also has a very similar flower. It looks like a pea. So these flowers we would say are pea-like, and because of their penis, they also produce beans as we might expect.
L. Schroeper on YouTube. He said, you're working on your class and your textbook is lacking good content about insect pests. Do you have a video of mine that you think is pretty informative? I actually don't have any videos about insect pests. Maybe that'll be a fun one to make at some point. But yeah, thanks for asking. I don't have any. But yeah, welcome back everyone. I want to show you this orchid. Everyone probably knows this one. Phalaenopsis, the moth orchid. Lovely little guy. Kaba, that's right, it is an orchid. And it had made these little things. These are roots. These are like aerial roots. But it also started making another inflorescence. This stem right here is the stem that makes flowers. And so it has roots coming out of the pot. It has these little arm-like roots that are protruding out like that. And it has a... Duskborn said it looks like a green bean when it's coming out. And when it was small, it did look like a green bean. Any that bug me? Any roots that bug me? It looks like it needs water. It was actually soaking in water 2 days ago. So, yeah, it is quite well hydrated. Is it root bound? Is that why the roots coming out the side? I don't think I'd consider this one root bound because the roots can escape if they want to. They can go and attach themselves onto something. Typically, like epiphytic plants, I wouldn't rarely consider them root bound. And if they were like truly stuck in a pot where the roots were all wrapped up and they were like choking themselves out, I'd say it's root bound. But in this particular plant, the roots could be protruding out of the edges, and I still personally wouldn't call it root bound because the roots are able to grow out. Not that they'll be able to attach to anything, but it has everything it needs. Because I also fertilize it. It's a cool pot, yeah. Orchid pots. Orchid pots are great. Okay, so we were looking under the microscope at this little guy. Aren't orchids hard to keep? Pepper. Typically people don't know the best ways to keep orchids, and so they end up not doing well. But orchids are highly specialized throughout the world, and typically the ones that we grow are from tropical regions that are epiphytic, meaning grow on trees and different things. So, like rabbits. Yeah, they're not hard to grow. You just got to realize what they need, you know. And they need to have well-draining soil. They don't like having their roots soaking wet, and they also enjoy being soaked properly. Some people put ice cubes in there. Ice cubes are probably not enough. We're gonna flip it around. Wicked Witch. Okay, this is the top surface of that same thing. And it has some like pigmented cells. It might be too bright. Hang on. Maybe saturation, contrast. Okay, contrast and saturation. Okay, let's leave that. Okay. Chromophores, chromoplasts. It has some cells that are pigment carrying. Brightness, turn that down. So this is the same one that we had the water on, and it still looks wet. I'm gonna do this again. What are the red bits? The red bits are specific cells that have pigment. Most of the cells in this plant material are white. Let me pull this up. So these are cells, like this whole thing is one cell. And let's see if we can get a good view of one of the pigmented ones. Near the surface, which it seems hard for us to focus on, there are cells that are just filled with probably anthocyanin pigment. There's one right there. But yeah, those shapes of those cells are very distinct. Thousands of species with varying needs of orchids. Yeah, there are a lot. Most of the ones who grow indoors are tropical epiphytes that grow on bark, basically. Now we're gonna look at a piece of the same plant that's not wet. Okay, this is the same thing. It's not been rehydrated, but they're still moving stuff. What? You see the movement? I can see it on my big screen really well. Let's zoom out, maybe we'll see it. Okay, there is still movement. You'll see that? You see it too, Pepper? So it's not water. I mean, it could be... so what we know is that me adding water to keep it flat did not change this. So the tissue itself is still alive to some extent. Yes. It was probably not going to get a good picture. Okay, those are the cells. Some of them have a few chloroplasts even. That cell has a few chloroplasts. I mean, the tissue has water in it still, and maybe it's like, because I cut it, the pressure has changed, and everything is moving quickly to one end. Look at those cells. That's real clear. Can you see it? For me, it's very evident. Because maybe my screen is easier to see. So I think what's going on is that the tissue itself was alive, and because I cut it to make the slide sample, the pressure broke, and it just started moving it in one direction because of the change in the internal pressure. The internal forces were damaged as I cut them. What is it? It's not Schrodinger's cat, but it's something similar. By altering the thing to observe it, you've messed it up, so you can't observe it the way it was. Okay. You know what's always fun? Looking at aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are perpetually interesting. Because they're super thin. We've done this before, but I want to do it again, because maybe we'll see something new. Aquatic plant time. Yavamash. Oh yeah. Okay, Pepper, you have some cool aquatic plants in your fish tank? This one, I can look up the name, but it's not the one we saw last time. The one we looked at last time was... Put a cover slip on it. Maybe it'll work. Very specific jungle valsnaria. One, not jungle valve. Okay. I have no idea what we're going to see. That's what makes it so fun. Okay, there's a bubble. A lot of little cells. Let's get closer. There's a hole. Is there a hole in the leaf? Okay, this is a good spot. Let's look in this one. That one of the tips is that always find what you want to look at first with the lowest magnification. And then, oh, it has stomata. Okay, wait. Maybe this is not like a true aquatic plant, but I'm growing it in water. Typically, aquatic plants don't have stomata because they're just submerged. All of its stomata are closed. I mean, that one's kind of open. I'm drowning it? I guess it's growing like a water lily, like its leaves are sitting on the top. Maybe it's not aquatic. It looks like bubble tea. You're making me want boba. Boba. Go closer. We'll look at the Valsneria as well. Okay, that's a really clear stomata. Rarely do they look that good. That's a good one. That's a good stomata if I've ever seen one right there. I can make him move his mouth. Wow. 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 Everything's an aquatic plant as long as you don't drown it. I know, right? Okay. You can see the chloroplasts? Wait, that's not right. Give me a circle. There's a cell right here. Then each of those little green things, it's hard to focus on it. Green things is chloroplast. They're not moving. They're not streaming. Typically aquatic plants will stream. So I think what I learned is I'm drowning some plant right now. And maybe that's why it doesn't seem to be growing very well. I've made this plant miserable by soaking in water. Beautiful. So many stomata. Okay, well. Maybe I take it out. We're overhydrating it. I know, right? I'd be a good at thespian. What is thespian? Wow, the underside leaf is cool. I want to look at that. Okay, the underside has all these markings on it. First time catching you on... Oh! Agent M. Scarn. First time tuning in after catching my Won't You Be My Gamer, which was great. You're a big fan of succulents. Oh, nice. Me too. I got this Alowadia recently. I was going to repot it on stream, but we've been looking at microscope stuff. My favorite plants are cacti. And so I love succulents. Ooh! Okay, what's going on here? Why are there little black dots in the cells? We're going to take a photo so we can have stuff to look at. Why are there black spots? Snap. Pokemon Snap, but for plant cells. You're here because of the cute guy. Really? Where? Those are nuclei? Really? Okay. I can believe it. But why are they black? Why are they pigmented? My commercial breaks are so good. Well, thanks. Nuclei makes sense. Considering there's like one per cell. Why are these dark and the other ones are not? Macroscopically, there's also these darker regions like this. Which is what I saw when I flipped it over. I can't ask them why they're black. I can ask them why they're pigmented. There's an air bubble right there. To protect them from the sunlight. Maybe but why did the ones on the top surface not have this? And why are the ones at the bottom like this? The ones in the bottom have these distinctly different spots. And it's not every cell, is it? I gotta figure out what this plant is called. Let's look at the edge. When in doubt, edge it out, right? Okay. Split pepper. What is a split pepper? We're going to take another photo. It'll be saved, so we can always go back and evaluate it. Fascinating. Maybe those are the nuclei. But, oh! Let me see. I'm gonna figure out what the name of this thing. Okay, couldn't figure out where the name. I couldn't figure out where the paper was. Server is open. It is open right now. The bottom has been in the water a lot more. That's fair. Maybe that's what it is. Yoban, hello. I found a harmonica. Can you hear it? No? Maybe it's actively dividing. There's a chromatins. Huh. You would kill for that climate. I'm in Oakland. Yeah, Eddie. Nice. Congrats. Congratulations and salutations. He is in Oakland, California, by the grace of God and the eternal sunshine. And there's no fog, Yoban, good sleigh zone dad, and every plant you want from the grove. On a scale from 0 to Mobantas, how pregnant are we feeling today? I hope everybody took a... Okay, for the... Yoban, hello, it's good to see you. I'm doing well, thank you. I hope everyone took a defecation for the biodiversity, for the world. Does it get gloomy here? The first 4 hours of every day in the summer are perpetually foggy. So, yeah. It's kind of cold, honestly, overall. Okay, well. What's going on with this plant? Maybe they're dividing. It should still be alive, because it's not desiccated. Oh! That one is 2. Okay. Maybe it is dividing. Maybe. There is one here that has more. A couple little bubbles. Bubbles. You see this? There's 2 of them. Photo time. Snap. Minecraft server. El Schroper. Right now it's set up as a Twitch subscriber perk. Fascinating. Today is warm. I guess that means I gotta get outside. Hypothesis evidence. Maybe we just sit here and watch it. Are they moving? Maybe we sit here and watch to see if it's moving. I mean, I would imagine a cell wall would form here. And also, typically, so the piece of, well, I don't think it's dividing, because the piece of the tissue that I've cut is like a mature leaf that's been fully developed for months. But I think that's a great idea. Like, if we were watching the tip of a root, tip of a shoot, then we would expect to see that kind of stuff, right? But there's a couple where there's many little balls. There's a big one and a small one. There's always one that's a little bigger in these cells here. What's going on? It's warm today, you say, Dale? Do I need to go outside? Starch grains. You don't see any movement. Yeah, I don't see any movement. We could record it and do a time lapse. See if anything's changing. Hydrate for plant. Okay, which one will we water? I'm gonna water this one. Dealer's choice. Okay. Ta-da! The dragon tree. Likes the sun. It's a beautiful plant. All right. Well, yucca. It looks like a yucca. But it's not a yucca. It's a Dracaena. Dracaena Draco. Okay, we're gonna try my hand at the little pre-prepared video. I'll do it on stream live, and if I don't like the way it turns out, I'll just re-record it. But I had written a little draft script before stream, and I was like, this is something I want to talk about with y'all, and I want to make a little video out of it, and the format will be that I'm live streaming the topic. But basically, like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, we should always be planning native things, right? But the thing is that that's really not what you should be considering, because people think of their state. So do not plant native to your state. What you should be doing is planting native to your ecoregion. The Socotra, okay, yeah, true. What if you don't have a state? Your area, your geopolitical zone. Don't plant native to your geopolitical zone. Hey, Pepper, where are you native to? Or I guess, what are you in Wales? You live in a forest. Okay. So each of these distinct colors on the map is an ecoregion. There's like an ecological zone where there's similar climate, rocks, geology, soil, plants, and animals. And so there's one particular biome, the Celtic broadleaf forests. This is the same types of plants and climate in those zones. And then down here is the English lowlands of beech forests. And so throughout the world, there's distinct climates that dictate what ends up being the predominant ecosystem. I'm from Texas, where there's a bunch of them really close to each other. And Texas is so big. This is Texas, and it's so big. And so I'm planting native plants. And if you're in Houston or something, and you plant a plant that's native to this zone, this is Central Texas, and if you live in Houston, you say, oh, I'm planting native. And you're planting something from this area. It's completely different. Different climate, different plants, different animals. But yeah, this map is called ecoregions. I'll put it in the chat. What if you live where they overlap? Yeah, so there's a zone, when things overlap, it's called an ecotone. And there's a gradient between all of these ecological zones. Sometimes it's really stark. Like in Austin, it is like night and day difference. You can tell immediately. The divide between this light green and the yellow is like a cliff. And so the soil changes drastically. The soil on the top zone is like is white, rocky soil, and then the soil in the yellow zone is like rich, fertile black soil. And so it's very distinct here, but most of the time it's a gradient. Llano Uplift. Llano Uplift is within the green. It's a good point, though. Llano Uplift is included within the ecoregion level 3, Edwards Plateau. But yeah. Tips on finding hyperlocal ecotypes without poaching. Collect seeds. Collect seeds. I guess that's the only tip I have. Black gumbo. The Dakotas are all the same. Yeah, there's certain areas where, it's pretty easy. You just say, hey, plant native to your prairie or whatever. But so the forest has 5 distinct zones. You're in wetland heath. Nice. So this is level 3 ecoregion. And you can also look at biomes, but there's also level 4. So like within this particular Celtic broadleaf forest, there will also, as you're aware, be different zones. Realms, protected ecoregions. Hover over your country. The one you're from or the one you live in? Remind me, Alex. Pannonian mixed forests of Hungary and Slovakia are fun. I know this. I know this one well. It's good if you remind me. The Netherlands is what I would have said, but I don't want to be wrong. The European Atlantic mixed forests. Notice how it's also related to like the closeness to the water. And then there's the mountainous regions. The Pyrenees. There's like a tiny desert. Anyway. Oh, Romania. Is that right? Balkan mixed forests. Denmark. Okay. Your mom is from Romania. Denmark. European Atlantic mixed forest. The Baltic mixed forest and European Atlantic. You were in Spain for the eclipse. Oh, in Iceland there were clouds everywhere? Yeah, you got to see it. It was a cool eclipse because it was around the horizon, right? It's a special one. Okay. If you're in Los Angeles, you might be planting the California fan palm. Los Angeles is right here on the map. But the thing that's crazy is that Los Angeles itself is in a unique ecoregion that is specifically the California coastal sage and chaparral. But the California fan palm is from over here in 81, which is the Sonoran Desert. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about last time when we had Christy on, and I want to make a little video on, is that basically everyone's like, oh, this is from California. I should be planting it everywhere in California. The California fan palm is more native to Phoenix, Arizona than it is to California as a whole state. And it's crazy because there is a tiny island off the coast of Mexico that has the same ecoregion as Los Angeles. So Los Angeles is down here, and this is its ecoregion, the California coastal sage and chaparral. And this island here, Guadalupe Island, is the same type of ecosystem. Same climate, weather, soil types, and plant populations. There's a palm tree from this island called the Guadalupe fan palm, and it is more so native to California than the one that is within California's boundaries. Anyway, that's something I want to share with you all. Kind of fun. Oh, Cape Town. Okay, let's take a gander at old Cape Town. Let's meander. So, believe it or not, I do not know exactly where every single city in the world is. But I'm presuming Cape Town is at the Cape in South Africa. Is that right? Somewhere in here? You'll have to help me understand. Elucidate. Educate. I can also look it up. The left tip. I'm guessing this is Cape Town right here. Oh, the Fynbos. Fynbos shrubland. The thing about South Africa is that there's a lot of intermixed like ecosystems, probably due to the mountain and hill distribution. There's shrubland, Zurich, Karoo shrubland, and then the Fynbos shrubland, which is Mediterranean. This is also Mediterranean. This is desert. This is tropical. The montane forests. Thicket, which is also Mediterranean. Yeah, fascinating. Don't forget the Mexican fan palm. Mexican fan palm is from Baja, California, which is basically like saying the California fan palms from California. I mean, yeah, this is Baja California, but it's completely different ecosystem. The Mojave Desert and the Sonoran Desert. People always say, oh, the Colorado Desert. Yeah, the Colorado Desert is a subset of the Sonoran Desert. I made a video one time where I said that Joshua Tree National Park has the Mojave Desert and the Sonoran Desert. It was like, no, that's wrong, that's wrong. Well, we typically say Colorado Desert to distinguish it as a smaller region within the Sonoran. But anyway, yeah. There's the Mexican fan palm from Baja California. And then there is the... people call it the Southwest fan palm, which I like a little bit more. The Southwest fan palm from the Sonoran Desert. But here it is. I pulled it up. The Guadalupe fan palm, Brahea edulis. This thing is native to LA's climate. This is your native LA plant. That picture is wrong, but this one is right. This is what it looks like. Looks kind of like the California fan palm, just maybe a little bit stouter, but overall the same. And it thrives in Mediterranean climates. That's the thing too. The other one thrives in desert climates. You visited the Desert Botanical Garden outside Phoenix last month. It was beautiful. Same genus. Well, this one is Brahea edulis. The other one's Washingtonian. Probably same tribe. Oh. Sable palm from Florida. Those are good ones, Pony. Winter raven. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna get a snack, and we'll be right back.
I hate growing Monstera at home because this is how big it gets when it's grown in a tropical place. The leaves are massive. I can't see this and then think, wow, my little tiny pathetic Monstera at home looks so good. This is really what they're supposed to look like. Look at my hand. Often if you have a tree that's pot bound, the roots will be girdling, which is where the root in the pot will start to grow around itself. The issue with this is that these are structural roots. So these structural roots are supposed to look like this. They're supposed to flare out to provide the structure. This is the root flare. The issue is once they're in the ground, they get thick and they have secondary thickening. You know how a tree gets real thick? The roots get thick too. And they are already wrapping around. They're gonna choke the tree. So here you can see in this little picture, this is what it looks like. The main trunk has been expanding due to secondary growth. The girdling root choked it out and they had to remove that. The bad thing too is that girdling root, that is supposed to be a structural root. So then you have one structural root that isn't doing its structural things. Maybe you have enough roots still going out that are still doing that, but now you have a choking hazard. So
if you get a tree in a pot and it looks like this, you're going to need to do some root surgery before you plant that thing, or else you're not going to have a long-term tree.
These beach strawberries spread through their horizontal stems called stolons. Can you say stolen? Look at that. Sometimes I see a big patch of strawberries with their stolons and I say, wow, look at that stolen land. But these are horizontal stems that strawberries produce during longer days where it's warmer. They touch down and they create little plantlets and then they continue on. This is how they can live on the dunes and sandy soil and cover the ground. Looks like something got to enjoy this. Maybe the squirrels.
Strategist extraordinaire, no one else can compare to Jeffrey, Jeff the Land Shark. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Flop and run, put your tail into it. Blow those bubbles, squirt that pee. Damage the enemy and heal your team. Other heroes have lovely powers, but from Jeff, all will cower when you hear the enemy will be in his tummy.
Someone pulled this little agave plant out of the ground, which is really horrible, but now we can look at the roots. Many agaves are drought tolerant and they have many adaptations to surviving with little water. One of the things that they do is they have really shallow, small, fibrous roots that stay close to the base of the plant. The leaf arrangement is described as rosette, which means that it kind of forms this. When rain collects down here, it funnels it directly down to the stem to the roots. So why not make all your roots right here where you're going to get the water?
Which Pokemon is based on the world's largest flower?
Vileplume, the flower Pokemon.
Vileplume is based on the genus Rafflesia, and being the largest flower, you would think,
Wow, it probably has a fascinating aroma.
and it does. It's called the corpse flower because it's very stinky. By smelling like rotting flesh, it can attract pollinators like flies. A lot of the compounds it produces are sulfur-based, like dimethyl disulfide and dimethyl trisulfide. If you work in a wet lab, you might have access to tumor capped ethanol and dithiothiotol, which both are very stinky sulfur compounds that might remind you of what a Vileplume could smell like. So next time you see Vileplume using acid on a poor bird, think about all the different sulfur compounds that are being inundated with the Poravian stinky. You may find yourself along the Pacific Ocean, and you may find yourself next to a plant that tastes like salt. And as the waves go by, the salt bush actually is perfectly tolerant of it. It's what we call a halophyte. Tiny percentage of plants, maybe about 0.5% of plants, or 3,000 species, have salt tolerance like the salt bush. And if you eat the young leaves and the buds, you can taste the salt. Accumulating salt doesn't prevent herbivory. It mostly just allows you to tolerate salt. Herbivory.
Oh, hi, little squirrel.
It is in our darkest days we find the brightest light. May the eternal light is Islam guide you to the victorious path of righteousness and fame, so you can make it big in the movies. Think about it. The movies, the old silver screen.
squirrel.
While perusing my local nursery for an office plant, I stumbled across a rare species, a dragon tree. The name sounds crazy, huh? And its scientific name, Dracena draco, means dragon, deriving from Greek and Latin respectively. The dragon association is due to the red sap it oozes, resembling the blood of the mythical beast. Perhaps this plant is too big for my office. Dracena, Dracena, Draco, Dracena, Dracena, Draco.
Hello, okay. We're gonna take it. Oh, it froze! Silly. See if it works. Oh, we're back. Oh, and it's super slow. Hello? Anyone home? Okay, it's better now? I think we're good. We're gonna repot this plant together. We're lagging here. Ta-da! We're gonna inspect the roots. Community repotting. Do it together. Makes it more fun. The camera was sleeping. Okay. This is called Madagascar Ocotillo or Alowadia procera. It has sharp thorns. You know, I'm gonna try the bed of nails approach. I'm gonna try and... It's way too spiky. Just gonna... get it out of here. I have this more potting media for you. Did I assume their pronouns? I think it's he, her. I don't want to mess up the thorns because they're quite beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna repot it into this one. It's kind of the same size. Use an oven mitt, that would be a good idea. We're gonna put it into this pot. This pot was made in Italy. I just want a well-draining pot. We're gonna start by getting some of the media in there. I might be able to grab it. The pot is closer to its natural habitat. Tongs would be good, yeah. Yeah, the well-draining terracotta is what we want. I don't want this plastic pot. Also, the particular plastic pot has branding on it that looks kind of cheap. So. It will be very fancy now. It has an Italian pot. Exactly. Okay, for some reason I was quite optimistic. I thought it would be really easy to just grab the plant. It's not. I don't know why that seemed to be a thought I had. Wow, Matt, you just grab the spiny plant and pull it out. At the pot, maybe. Do I have any tips for picking a healthy specimen? Yeah. Typically, you look for new growth. So when I bought this one, I was looking at the tips. The tips have a lot of bright green, succulent new growth. So that's the big thing. Look for new leaves that are growing. Make sure you don't see a bunch of insects and pests on it. This one does have some webs near the tip, but I can get that out. Plants evolved over millions of years, not to be touched. I thought this was going to be easy. Yeah. This one actually grew a lot since I got it the other day. It has a lot more new leaves. Alowadia procera, come with me into this pot. Now it's your time to find a place. Potting you is not something as easy as I thought it would be. It's harder for me to grab onto thee. Maybe I'll grab you by the root ball. This will be so much safer. Oh! Okay. So these are cuttings. I realized why they're so cheap. What they did was they got a big plant and they cut the tips off, and then they got the tips to root. Because I just went to grab the roots and there's more spines in there. The flower color? I don't know what it is. I think it's like a white creamy color. It's coming! The secret spines. Bubble wrap. Well, I made a good mess. I think we succeeded. The secret spines really confused me. I didn't think they'd go that deep. Well, I'm gonna have to clean up real good later. Was the tray to catch the soil? Yeah. That was the intention. Of course, it was not successful. I have this whole bin. We'll be using the bin. Ah, yes. I want to see what the roots look like. Maybe we should look at the roots on the microscope sometime. This is a challenge. Trey might have lied on the resume. Hey, I think you're right. So the tray just bit off more than it could chew. I've been betrayed. Looks like a lot more roots. You know, all things considered. Yeah, there's a lot of roots, which is good. Okay, I want to isolate one just to see what it looks like. The roots are so intertwined, so we might not do that. Oh. This is one. Damn, look at that. One cutting is this tiny little roots. Put in. Oof, one of these is really getting me. Oof, oof. Ah, Lord have mercy. One of these is digging deep. The plants are so. Okay, this is the one that was stabbing me. Or isolate. They have extremely thin roots, not what I expected at all. Could be because they're cuttings. Could be that's just the way they are. Okay, this is the big one. Big one. A little blood. Yeah, a little blood will help. That's what I learned from Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me. I have that plant actually. I have a prop of that. Here we go. We're gonna repot these. Nice. Maybe we only put one in the pot. What do we think? Do we put just one or all of them? Probably all of them, right? All of them. Why not turn one pot to 4? Well, I only have one. I was considering separating them, but maybe we'll separate them when they're bigger. When they're older, you know? Duskborn, I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy. Okay, now we're going to rearrange them. Give the other two to a friend. If anything, I'd put 3 in one pot. Yeah. For the nice balance of threes. One. I think we'll just put 3 actually. What? One of the 4 was broken. So I'm gonna put 3 ones that don't have any broken stems. And then maybe just repot the other one and figure out how to give it away or something. Something like this. We'll put these 3 in here. I just want to make sure I rotate them so the angles don't look weird. Okay, well. Leaves of 3, let it be. Who else uses yogurt containers for clippings? Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna start backfilling with the media it came in. Clean up real good after that. I bought more media just in case. I feel like as a child you hate marigolds. Oh, you had marigolds germinating in a yogurt pot. Oh. Reuse, reduce, recycle. Okay, getting them to stand on their own now. You would have added gritty soil? Yeah, that's fair. This is the soil that came in, and they seem to be doing quite fine. I did buy specific cactus soil as well. But, there's a lot of perlite in this. Not too pretty. But it's a very good point. If they die. Are we adding rosemary oil? I don't think they need it. You don't have any pests I'm observant of. Use Peters. Really? I don't know what Peters is. Oh. I didn't compact it enough and I started swaying. It has spines, you know, deep in the soil, so every time that I push the soil down is a threat of me poking myself. Fertilizer. Oh, it's fertilizer. Okay, nice. I don't really have favorite fertilizer, honestly. Osmocote is the one that I've used most reliably. I'm compacting the soil now so it doesn't fall over. See, the advantage of potting carnivorous plants, the soil already has to be pretty moist and waterlogged so you don't get that issue. That makes sense. The rosemary oil, it's like a anti-feed. Basically, it deters certain insects from eating your plant. I got this rosemary oil that's like apparently it's somewhat systemic. They apply to the root zone, the plant takes up the organic molecules and distributes it through its tissue to deter insects from eating the leaves. I got it specifically for spider mites. Neem oil. Yeah, a lot of people use neem oil. Apparently quite similar. I personally have had challenges with neem oil, so I just kind of moved on from it because I used to use neem oil for a lot of different projects. And it never really seemed to do the trick because it would deter them. How has your success been? Dr. Whittles, hello. How's your success been with neem? What a time to be alive, huh? Neem oil works fairly well as a deterrent. Keeps the aphids at bay. That's good to hear. What we'll have to do next is water it. New potted Alawadia. I kind of raised this one up higher than it was previously. I have one more Alawadia. I might as well pot in something. Hydrogen peroxide. You like the wreath? Well, thanks. Aphid issue. Yeah. Keeps the mold in. We have this other one here. I'm gonna see if I have any pots for it that would work. I'll be right back. I think I'm just gonna put in this little plastic one. I'll keep this one. Terrariums are bioactive. No, pesket in or out. Exciting. That's cool. Yeah, completely enclosed system. That's the goal. I'm gonna grow this one and give it away to someone at some point. Your blue star fern is struggling with the right soil light. What else can you try? I would make sure that it has the right nutrients, make sure that it has appropriate nutrients, fertilizing it. Yeah. The blue star fern. I've grown one before, and for me, it did really well just on bark mulch. But, yeah. I made a good mess here. Oh, you got a vanilla orchid. Octopi, arboreal octopi. Fun. That's exciting. Ooh. Okay. Well, folks, what's the rarest plant in the collection? I'll show you. Does the film look grainy to you? Okay. This is the rarest one I have. Probably looks fine. Okay, good. This is the rarest plant I have. This one is called Euphorbia platyclady, the dead plant. It looks dead, but it's very much alive. It's thriving, it's alive. It's a rare euphorbia that's succulent. The stems are the photosynthetic bits. It's acting. Yeah, I have it. It gets a lot of light. But if it gets too much light, it turns this kind of reddish color. So I've been giving it kind of shade. How do you know when it's actually dead? If I feel the stem, it's thick and it's succulent and it's upright. See how thick it is? It's filled with water. It's happy and healthy. I've also, I mean, it's grown. I've been seeing it grow. So positive, right? Martin Boward. How does Pokemon inspire me day to day? Pokemon is fun. I like the music a lot. I enjoy the adventuring music. That's one of my favorite things, is the adventuring music of Pokemon. Duskborn has a question for the seal of approval. Okay, seal of approval. Our beloved friend is here. Duskborn says, Seal, do you approve of pranks? He loves pranks. He loves a good tomfoolery, a little nonsense. Yes. Seek by iNaturalist is IRL Pokemon? Yeah. This plant does look like a dead limb, but it isn't alive. Perhaps the rarest one I have is this plant. Eliza Willis, hello. Whatever happened to Sweet Potato? Sweet Potato is planted outside in Austin, Texas. And I'm not in Austin, Texas anymore. Duskborn did some little surveillance. He found it was gone. It was completely removed. Probably sprayed it or ripped it out. If they ripped it out, it'll come back. Yeah. All right, friends. Well, we'll see you next week. This concludes our adventure for the day. I'm going to go outside and enjoy the good weather, see some trees, see some birds, maybe some bees. Take care. We'll see you around the bend. Our microscope stains come in on Tuesday. So once we have those, we'll take a gander under the microscope again. Duskborn's 105. Okay. I will be enjoying the bay. Take care, everyone. Shay, Duskborn, Camille, Lucky Chimera, True, Green Static, Eliza, our friends on YouTube, Sable Miner, Mini Moose. Take care. Yoban. Bye. Melissa! Oh no, Melissa. We can't say goodbye until we say hello to Melissa. Melissa, we had a fun time. We got to look at things in the microscope. We repotted this one. I'll show this one to you. This is Alowadia. Alowadia is the genus. We repotted it. There were 3 of them in a big pot. I put 2 in this nice terracotta pot and then 1 in this one. I'm going to probably grow this one and give it away to someone. Anyway, Melissa, it's good to see you. We'll see you next week. We looked at the microscope today, and we ordered a bunch of stains so we can dye things. We saw some stuff that was moving around in a fig leaf, and we had no idea what it was. We'll hopefully figure it out. I'll be investigating. Okay, now we say goodbye.